I had barely finished telling my neighbor about the date when she looked at me with a strange sadness in her eyes and said something that stopped time around us. The porch light flickered above her head, the warm summer air hanging heavy between us, and for a moment, I couldn't even breathe. Her voice wasn't angry. It wasn't jealous either. It was something far more painful, something honest. She told me that the girl I had just gone out with didn't love me the way she did, and somehow, deep down, a part of me knew she was right. Asterisk, before we begin this emotional journey, take a moment to support the channel. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet power of love, make sure to like this video. Share it with someone who believes in true connection. Leave a comment about what love means to you, and subscribe so you never miss stories that touch the heart. Asterisk. My name is Ryan Carter, and 3 years ago, I moved into a small neighborhood just outside Columbus, Ohio. Life had already taken a few hard swings at me by then. A broken engagement, a job that felt more like survival than a career, and the constant feeling that everyone around me was moving forward while I was somehow stuck standing still. Asterisk. The house I rented was modest but peaceful. A small front porch, a narrow driveway, and a big maple tree that shaded the yard in the afternoons. It wasn't much, but it felt like a place where life might slowly begin again. Asterisk. That was also the day I first met my neighbor. Asterisk. Her name was Hannah Brooks. Asterisk. She lived next door in a pale blue house with white shutters and a garden that looked like something out of a postcard. The first time I saw her, she was kneeling in the dirt planting flowers with a wide straw hat on her head. When she noticed me carrying boxes into my new place, she stood up, brushed the soil off her hands, and walked over with the kind of smile that makes strangers feel instantly welcome. Asterisk. Over time, Hannah became part of the rhythm of my everyday life. Asterisk. Some mornings she would leave fresh muffins on my porch before heading to work. Other evenings we would sit outside as the sun went down, talking about everything and nothing. She was the kind of person who remembered the little things: your favorite coffee, the bad day you had last Tuesday, the song you mentioned once months ago. Asterisk. But back then, I never thought of it as love. Asterisk. To me, she was simply the kindest neighbor anyone could ask for. Asterisk. Months passed, and slowly life began to stabilize. My job improved, my confidence returned, and eventually, I started dating again. That's how I met Ashley Morgan. Ashley was vibrant, was confident, and beautiful in the kind of way that immediately captured attention. We met through mutual friends at a weekend gathering downtown. She laughed easily, talked passionately about travel and ambition, seemed fascinated by my quieter personality. Asterisk. Our dates were exciting. Restaurants with candlelight, long drives through the countryside, weekend events filled with music and crowds. Asterisk. But if I'm being honest now, those moments always felt slightly hollow. Asterisk. There was excitement, yes, but something deeper always felt missing. Asterisk. Meanwhile, Hannah remained the quiet constant next door. She would wave from her porch when I left for work. Sometimes she'd ask how the date went. Other times she simply smiled and changed the subject. Asterisk. Looking back, I realize how carefully she protected her feelings. Asterisk. One evening, after a particularly fancy dinner with Ashley, I pulled into my driveway feeling strangely exhausted. The night had been perfect on paper: great food, laughter, photos. Plans for another date. But my chest felt heavy. As I stepped out of the car, I saw Hannah sitting on her porch steps, wrapped in a soft gray sweater. The porch light illuminated her face, just enough for me to see that she had been sitting there quietly for a while. Asterisk. She asked how the date went. Asterisk. I told her it was great. I told her Ashley was amazing, and then she said it. Asterisk. She said that the girl I had just come back from seeing didn't love me the way she did. Asterisk. At first I thought she was joking, or maybe teasing. Asterisk. But when I looked at her eyes, there was no laughter there, only honesty and pain. Asterisk. The silence that followed felt enormous. I suddenly became aware of all the small moments I had overlooked. Every cup of coffee she brought, over when I looked tired, every time she stayed up late talking with me when work stressed me out, every quiet smile she gave when I mentioned someone else. I had been blind. Not because the love wasn't there, but because it was so gentle, I never thought to question it. Asterisk in the weeks that followed, things changed between us. Asterisk not dramatically, not with dramatic confrontations or emotional outbursts, just a quiet distance. Hannah still waved. She still smiled, but our long conversations disappeared. The porch felt emptier somehow. Asterisk, meanwhile, my relationship with Ashley continued, but something inside me had shifted. I began noticing the difference between excitement and comfort, between attraction and understanding, between someone who enjoyed my company and someone who truly saw me. Asterisk Ashley loved adventures, parties, and constant motion. Asterisk Hannah loved quiet evenings, thoughtful conversations, and the small details that build a life. Asterisk one afternoon, months later, Ashley and I had an argument about something trivial, my hesitation to move to another city with her for a job opportunity. She wanted a fast-paced future filled with change. I realized I wanted something else entirely. Something steady. Something real. We ended things shortly after. Not with anger. Just with the quiet understanding that our paths were meant to go different directions. Asterisk the night it happened. I found myself standing outside Hannah's house without even remembering walking there. The porch light was on again, just like that. Night months ago, but this time she wasn't outside. Through the window, I saw her sitting alone on the couch reading a book. Asterisk for a long moment I stood there wondering if it was too late. Wondering if the moment had already passed, then I knocked. When she opened the door, surprise crossed her face first. Then caution. I didn't have a speech prepared. I just told the truth. Asterisk, I told her that I finally understood what she meant that night. That love wasn't always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it was patient. Sometimes it was quiet. Sometimes it was the person who had been standing beside you all along. Asterisk, her eyes filled with tears, but she didn't say anything. Asterisk, she simply stepped forward and hugged me. Asterisk, and for the first time in years, my restless heart felt completely at home. Asterisk. Love doesn't always arrive in fireworks and grand gestures. Asterisk. Sometimes it grows quietly next door, waiting patiently for you to see it. Asterisk before this story ends. We have a small request for you. Asterisk, if this story touched your heart even a little, please take a moment to comment the word true love below. It helps us know these stories are reaching people who still believe in real connection. Asterisk, months later. Hannah and I sat on the same porch steps where everything had begun. The maple tree above us rustled gently in the wind, and the evening sky glowed orange as the sun slipped behind the horizon. Life wasn't perfect, but it was honest. Asterisk, and sometimes honesty is the most beautiful love story of all. Asterisk, if this story moved you, reminded you of someone special, or made you believe a little more in second chances, please like this video. Share it with someone who believes in real love, and subscribe to the channel so we can keep bringing you stories that warm the heart and remind us what truly matters.